It's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across America, we are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Yeah, so Democrats, I believe, are running out of excuses when you had Jeffrey saying yesterday, well, the $350 billion of Obamacare subsidies really isn't new spending.
Yeah, right.
Wait a minute. It was supposed to end, and then you're going to continue it. That is new spending.
Yeah. And it was the Democrats that put the sunset on it.
Yeah, they put the sunset on it because they said it's only needed during this tough time of COVID.
Right.
And then it's going to end. Two things that have come out of this, though. We see that Obamacare is it's not the Affordable Care Act. We see it's not going to pay for itself, and we realize it's not going to bring down prices. We said it back at that time that it was all lies. Economics doesn't work that way. When you bring the government in and anything becomes more a monopoly, prices are always going to rise.
Yep.
The only thing that brings down prices is supply and demand competition.
When you require more in terms of the laws, part of the law that requires certain coverage, requires this, requires that, well, that's more expensive too. And healthcare is going to become more expensive as technology advances.
Where did I see it? It was some liberal group. Oh, it just popped into my mind. I saw it on vacation. I hate that when that happens. I had to save it somewhere. It just popped into my mind now. There was a debate going back and forth, and Democrats saying, well, why can't people just have, like, some type of savings account or they can put together that isn't taxed, for regular doctor stuff and just catastrophic care? I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yes.
Stop it. It's like...
Yeah. We've had this conversation.
It's like we've been there, done that, rejected by Democrats and liberals over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Right.
But where is this whole thing going with the shutdown? It really amped up yesterday after the largest federal government union, the nation's largest union representing federal workers, a close Democrat ally, is demanding the Democratic senators join Republicans in passing a House-approved resolution to reopen the government. Quote, both political parties have made their point, and there is still no clear end in sight, said American Federation of Government Employees President Everett Kelly in a statement. It's time to pass a clean, continuing resolution and end the shutdown today. No half measures and no gamesmanship. End of quote.
Mm-hmm.
The union, which is closely affiliated with the Democratic Party and represents more than 800,000 government workers, is urging Democrats to abandon their current position and join Republicans in supporting a stopgap solution. NBC reported, even MSNBC reported it. Here's some audio from MSNBC reporting it yesterday.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very dramatic call from that union of federal employees representing hundreds of thousands with a statement today saying, among other things, that it's time for our leaders to start focusing on how to solve problems for the American people rather than on who is going to get the blame for a shutdown that Americans dislike. Because when the folks who serve this country are standing in line for food banks after missing a second paycheck because of this shutdown, they aren't looking for partisan spin. They're looking for wages that they earned. They go on to essentially say that Congress needs to pass, in their view, a clean CR.
Right there. So, by the way, the rest was just BS coming from the union.
Yeah.
We need to work together to solve blah, 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 blah. No, you want your people to get paid.
Right.
Shut up. We understand what's going on.
We know where the pressure's coming from.
We need both to worry about the blah, blah, blah. We always... You know what you get from that? You know what that means? We need both sides to work together. That means huge deficit spending is what they want.
Right.
Except when it comes to their paychecks, they want their paychecks now.
Right. No, it was bound to get to this point. I mean, that's, the pressure when people start feeling the pain, that's when the political pressure is going to rise. And when we're talking about government unions, well, that's the pressure on the Democrats right there. So, look, I don't know what a clean CR looks like, what they're talking about in terms of how far they want to extend it now, because I mean, by the time, let's just say they got it done by the end of the week, right? Let's say they get it done on Halloween Day, on Friday. And is it going to last until just, 3 weeks? 2 weeks? You're going to kick the can down to Thanksgiving week so that you can have a government shutdown Thanksgiving week at the airports? Do you think that helps you? Because you shut down, you're going to have delays at airports during Thanksgiving week for other reasons. But if you cause that, if you set up the timing for that, you might as well put up a sign saying, hey, guys, we're going to really screw up your Thanksgiving.
You know, the funny thing is, I'm traveling a lot, and I'm traveling more over the next couple of months. I haven't told you this because I plan on going. My great nephew's a senior, and when I say my great nephew, I mean my fifth cousin off my mother's neighbor's side. To give the Mandami explanation. No, I'm actually talking about my great nephew.
Mm-hmm.
He's a senior in high school, playing basketball, and I didn't catch any games last year, and I can catch him this year, and because of the time that they're playing now, so I hope to catch 4 of them. So I already told him, I said, I plan on coming back for 4 of your games, not including playoffs, not including the possibility of government shutdowns and the winter weather and how they all may affect it. So I plan on going to 4. Hopefully I can make 2. I've made reservations for 4.
Right.
Luckily with the airlines now, I can get credits for everything now.
And here's the thing. Because there is no real pressure to cut spending from there's only a handful of us fiscal conservatives left. So let's quit being stupid about all this. Let's quit pretending. Because, again, the word got out, which I've always believed, that the GOP kind of has a plan for the whole thing on subsidies for Obamacare. When we get past this. I know. And why is that? Well, because once something is out, once you start that kind of spending, the sunset on it really was never real, especially on something like healthcare. I was surprised. Remember when they did the expanded child tax credit?
Yeah.
And they were paying it monthly, and they did that for like 6 months. Mm-hmm. I was surprised that ended, but pleasantly surprised.
Right, but who pushed to bring it back?
In part, a couple of members of the GOP.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And those things, and that's why you're surprised. It's like, well, nothing has ever rolled back. The GOP's actually only in modern history been able to curtail spending, and they really were just tapping the brakes with welfare reform. That's the only thing that wasn't. They really didn't roll it back. I mean, temporarily they did at the time.
And they have tapped the brakes on what Democrats would spend.
Right.
It's still out of control, but
it's slower slightly. But when I say let's quit pretending, we know what eventually they're going to do and what they're not going to do. Doge was never going to happen. So let's quit pretending. Let's all be adults here. And you need to own it. And by the way, the pressure comes from the constituents. Because there are only a handful of us fiscal conservatives left, there's no one, essentially, virtually no one, screaming, let's cut spending. If that were the case, And there were a great number of us. Then, of course, Doge would have been more of a reality.
Well, you sort of lost Chip Roy the last time
Exactly.
in the House. So it's like, who's left in the House? I don't know. In the Senate, we went after Rand Paul
Yeah.
yesterday. When I'm not going to vote for it because I won't even vote for the continuing resolution because they're spending too much money. They need to spend less. Even the Republican CR is too much. And then he comes across on the Sunday morning news shows and says what Johnson needs to do and what they need to do is get two Republican, not Johnson, but the Senate, two Republicans and two Democrats to sit down and figure out a compromise on all of this.
Well, what does compromise mean?
What do you mean? You don't even want to spend the Republicans are doing. What do you
Right.
mean get this done, which would spend more money than what you're already saying you won't support? I don't understand the point.
Your idea would produce a bill you'd vote no on.
Right. This is the insanity that you're dealing with.
Well, and remember, it was Rand Paul going back to the SALT thing.
Yeah.
When toward the end of the debate, he started saying, "Oh, well, we need to have some consideration for our friends in California and Illinois and New York." We were like, "What? Well, that's not Rand Paul. Take the mask off. That's Tom Cruise. This is an episode of Mission Impossible." It's and then it turned out we did the research and it was like, oh,
in Kentucky,
his state was going to be affected by it too.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. So, again, let's all be adults. The fight is always worthy.
Well,
But I'm telling you right now, we don't have enough on Capitol Hill because there's not enough of us screaming about fiscal sanity.
Well, am I wrong by saying that the conservatives are left, the conservatives that are left that sit there and say, look, we need to stop spending, are the same ones that say, look, we need to stop spending as long as it doesn't affect my constituents and therefore my future in the House or the Senate.
Exactly.
Other than that, I want to cut everything.
Go back to the movie Liar, Liar. If they just had to blurt out the truth. I'm for cutting spending as long as it doesn't affect me politically.
It's the Norman Shears.
Yeah.
Hey, Sammy, what are you going to do? I don't like that. Hold it. Is it going to affect the cost of my beer?
Yeah.
No. Then what the hell do I care?
Exactly.
866-90-RED-EYE.
Brought to you by FPPF, Fuel Power Max.
Surviving and thriving as an owner-operator has just as much to do with managing costs as it does with generating revenue. Understanding basic principles of operating costs can save you thousands of dollars a year. Costs are not the same each month. If 9,600 miles are driven one month and 10,000 miles the next, two different sets of costs apply for each month. For example, if your tractor payment is $1,850 per month and you drive 9,600 miles in the month, your tractor payment is costing you 19.3 cents per mile. Drive 10,000 miles, though, and that same payment will cost you 18.5 cents per mile. This is one of your major fixed costs while paying off a truck loan. The difference in this example is only a fraction of a cent, which may seem like small change, but it ultimately amounts to $960 more annually on the bottom line. Because though fixed costs do not go down over time, you can reduce your cost per mile with more paid miles. Owner-Operator Business 101 is provided by Overdrive's Partners in Business program. Go to overdriveonline.com to the Partners in Business section of the website for more details on this and many other topics. Brought to you by Shell Rotella, with advanced synthetic technology is designed to help keep your rig running with more mileage and less maintenance.
Lines open for your calls. 866-90-RED-EYE on Red Eye Radio.
We're Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Carly, and I'm Gary McNamara. Well, that World Series game went half the night. Just ended a little while ago. Dodgers winning 6-5.
Yeah, wow.
I don't think
Crazy.
it didn't end till like after 3 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
in Toronto, they stayed up very, very, very late.
Now, does that give the Dodgers an advantage because they're on their clock? It's earlier on their clock than Toronto. The players on Toronto get tired, are more tired.
You'd have to you'd have to ask the circadian rhythm doctor.
Yeah. Right.
And
I mean,
were-
I'd have to
were-
say
were
there's
out-
a slight difference.
Yeah, they were out there.
I don't know.
They were
I
out
mean,
there for a day.
Yeah,
But then again, they played in Toronto.
they go back and forth. Yeah.
Yeah, they were in Toronto for the first 2 games.
Right.
Interesting because, it's something. The funny thing is, everybody who's up and works this time of the night, they go, I wonder whether it does or not because we all have dealt with that, haven't we?
Yeah. 30 years of it for me.
It's like,
Yeah.
where am I?
Right.
Vacation was tough for me.
Well,
It was like these normal hours. I don't know what to do. God, man, I became an old man for a couple of days. After I got back from seeing my dad, first couple of days, I was taking naps in the afternoon.
right. Well, no, when we go to Nevada, we go to Lake Tahoe, I actually, now that I'm older, enjoy it because out there, bedtime is like 8 p.m. because it's 10 p.m. at home. And it's like we're ready to, all right, retire to the room, and then we're out and then we're up early.
Well, I'm always up early. I'm just I'm up by 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And so by the time I, worked out, did a bunch of things around the house, got to be 2 in the afternoon. I went, well, I'll take a nap now. Otherwise, I'll go to bed at 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock on vacation. I wasn't going to do that. So I was taking
do it all the time.
like 3 afternoon naps last week. I'm like, how old am I, 70 or something?
No, if it's
God,
9,
what am I, an old? Oh,
seriously,
I am.
If
That's
it's if it's like 9 o'clock on a weekend night, and my wife and I are still awake, we're partying hard. If it's 9 p.m. and we're still awake, woo-hoo! The other night we actually were out pretty late. It was about 11 p.m. I mean, that was late. I was feeling it.
Oh, I did go out. I did go out to a great club in Buffalo. There's a guy by the name of Jason Hall.
Yeah.
And he runs a bunch of different clubs, all in the same little cluster in the Black Rock section of Buffalo. And I went to see a band that I really liked. A guy who was a lead singer and guitarist from a band that was really popular in New York back in the early 80s. They had a MTV hit and everything else called 805. And my buddy John's band invited him, the lead singer, to play with them. So I went to see him. But I wanted to go to this club. It's called The Cave. There's also the Sportsman's Tavern because Jason Hall runs it, who is the one who told my buddy Jack. Remember Jack, my stories of Jack, the long-haired conservative who I met in college? He heard me talking about Jack one day. He's a listener to Red Eye.
Yeah.
And so I always wanted to meet him. This was like a year and a half ago. He told Jack, the guy on the radio's talking about you, about you in college. And so it was great after the show. Myself and my buddy Jeff, we went, and Jason was still there. The whole place was empty, and we just talked issues and politics for a while. It was a great time.
Yeah.
So.
Now, see, there's the other side of it.
No, but the whole point was, it was like by 12 o'clock, everything was shut down.
Right,
And we were talking about how it used to begin, the bands used to start in New York at 11 because the bars didn't close till 4.
Yeah.
And you had to be.
Unless you were opening band, the headliners weren't even starting until later.
And they do 2 or 3 sets.
You didn't even go to the club until 9 or 10.
Right. You didn't go to club 9 or 10, and then they'd start 11:30.
Yeah,
They'd do 3 sets.
Right.
The last set would start at 3 o'clock, and it would end at like 10 to 4.
Yeah.
And then you could buy alcohol till 4. Then you had to be out till 4:30.
Yeah. Now, there's the other side of it. If I don't flip my schedule on the weekend, if I, for some reason I can't, man, at 2 a.m., I'm up having a conversation with myself, I mean, it's because we do this all week. But if I flip my schedule to hang out with my wife, then by 8 p.m., 9 p.m., I'm out. I'm not going to any club. I'm done.
Navigating the Bizarrosphere. Every night, Eric Harley and Gary McNamara. Red Eye Radio.
And he is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Download our Red Eye Radio app today, and you can listen when and where you choose. Here is Speaker Mike Johnson yesterday talking about the shutdown.
It's not a simple thing, and I am not going to go in a back room with Chuck Schumer, like he keeps demanding, with 4 people and make this decision. I will not do it. It's not appropriate. It's not right. It's too complicated for that. We need all the members to have buy-in. We need to have these healthy debates and discussions, but we can't do it while they're shutting the government down to appease the Marxist. That's it.
All right.
To appease the Marxists.
Yeah.
Stop appeasing the Marxists.
That's right.
I think, and well, he says Chuck Schumer, but also Rand Paul was out there saying the same thing.
Right.
Get a few people in the room and get this thing done.
No.
For a deal that you won't pass.
Right.
That made, I still have no idea where Rand Paul was coming from on that one.
I don't know.
That was just like, that made no sense to us at all. But I do think that after yesterday, and I think the union coming out, and we had said this yesterday, setting this up for where it may go this week, I don't see this going until Thanksgiving. And the reason I don't is because the Republicans have done something smart, and that is in these votes, what has it been, 12 or 13 so far, or something like that, they've said, okay, don't vote for the continuing resolution, vote to pay the essential workers.
Right.
Vote to pay these people who are working, and the Democrats have said no. And now you're coming up to where SNAP benefits could be affected, and then you had the largest union leader that is all Democrat come out and say to Democratic leaders, you need to pass a continuing resolution straight up and negotiate all the rest of the stuff down the road, but you cannot not pay federal workers for something that, when you all look at the continuing resolution, if you look at it, this is this is all Biden's spending levels.
Yep. And again, the political pressure is always going to rise when people are affected more and more. On the SNAP benefits, ABC had a story that said some are suggesting if the SNAP benefits run out, that you hand out non-perishables to trick-or-treaters. Now, let's walk that through. You hand, say, I don't know, a can of pork and beans to a kid. That kid is going to go to the store and buy some eggs. Now, I will say this will help the economy.
Right.
Now, eggs.
Oh, good. Protein.
Those eggs will come back to you. So consider the beans an investment, because they will literally come back to you, except you won't benefit from eating them. They will be decorating the outside of your house.
Egg projectiles. It's like, I'll never forget trick-or-treating one time. And again, we didn't trick-or-treat. We were scavengers. That's what we were.
Give me the candy.
Let's be honest. We took grocery bags, and we went out on Beggar's Night, too.
Mm-hmm.
You really can't do it these days. You can't go out the night before. It's just Halloween.
Yeah,
But
that's begging.
And that's what we were not proud at all. If I would have continued that philosophy of my life, I would have grown up to be a wonderful Democrat.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, for some reason, I don't know what changed me. Maybe it was maybe it was the sickness I had the next day from indulging on all the free stuff.
Can you imagine like, I don't know, July 20th, going to your neighbors, all of your neighbors' doors, wearing a Jason hockey mask, saying, "Give me the candy"? That's just creepy. You can't do that.
But yeah, Beggar's Night. We went out on Beggar's Night, and then the night, and we would hit 12, 10, 15, 20 blocks.
Yeah.
We would have grocery bags full of candy.
Right.
And we just, but when, forgot what my point was. I had a point.
Well,
I did have a point.
Yeah. If I would suggest, and we know what liberals always come up with these, you should just hand out groceries.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The SNAP.
The non-perishable
that's
groceries
right.
to trick-or-treaters.
We went from You talking about the fact of the
It's-
non-perishables?
Yeah.
Yes.
I would suggest you stick with the candy.
Yeah, stick with the candy.
If you want to donate to a food bank as well, then donate to a food bank. But
Yes.
I would suggest not giving an 11-year-old a can of ranch-style beans.
We went out the one year, that's what it was, and somebody put apples, gave us apples.
Yeah, no.
Is the statute of limitations over?
Probably.
The apples became projectiles.
Yeah. Well, no, look, there are certain even in the candy, on the candy list, it's rated. We know chocolate's at the top,
Yes.
and there are things at the bottom that are just, I'm not going to name any brands, but let's just say Tootsie Rolls. Now, Tootsie Pops, I love.
Oh, I love the Tootsie Pops.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though it took you a little while to get to the chocolate, it
Right.
was still okay.
Yeah. By the way, Smarties. I've been eating them for years. They're not working. But there are, there
Thing is, once you get a couple of implants with caps, you really don't eat anything that's really chewy anymore.
Oh, I still do. That's why I got the implants.
I don't.
Give me a raw steak and some gummies. But those
Well, the raw steak is different.
the entire
than the
the
Tootsie
entire
Roll.
game of Halloween for kids. One year I gave out full-size candy bars. Oh man. I luckily didn't run out because I started to sweat. I started thinking, oh, I can't run out. If I run out, then I'm the bad guy. Because the word gets out, hey, that house down there has full-size candy bars.
Oh yeah, you can't do that.
You can't
yeah.
run out, and thank
Yeah.
goodness I didn't.
Yeah, I've got enough. I've got enough this year.
Yeah.
This is a rare year where I actually can do it, which is good.
I never run out of candy. I've never run out of candy since we've been doing it. I always
did.
overbuy,
yeah,
but
I do.
I'm spending way too much on candy.
Same with me. I don't even want to tell you what I spent on
Yeah.
candy this year.
Yeah.
Just be prepared. I hope people show up. Otherwise, there's going to be a ton of candy out in the kitchen out front for everybody during the day
Yeah,
because
exactly.
I can't eat it. I can't.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I did?
Hmm.
I actually got myself a small bag of no sugar candy just for Halloween night. If everybody else is eating the candy, at least I can. The temptation would be too great, and I just can't handle that kind of sugar.
I have to be careful and not buy the candy ahead of time.
I've been good. I bought mine about 5 days ago, and I haven't been even tempted
What I have to
to
do
touch it.
is if I do buy it, I have to put it in our home office because then other people will see me eating it, and then I'll be caught. So I have to. That's how I keep myself responsible.
All right, so something that's very scary for liberals right now,
All right.
since we're talking scary things, because I just wonder where this is going to go. And we haven't discussed this off the air. The possibility of who might be going to CBS.
Okay.
Brett Baer. You saw that one yesterday, right?
Yeah.
Will Barry Weiss attempt to get Brett Baer to go to CBS, and also Scott Jennings?
Interesting. All right.
There was a report on the Sunday morning news show as to whether they had changed their liberal bent a little bit by being too tough on the Democrat guests.
Yeah. Well, that's going to be a thing as long as Barry Weiss is there. Liberals are going to say, well, they're being too tough on, they're asking, they're grilling the Democrats and they're not grilling the Republicans. That's probably going to be the case as long as she's there.
John Dickerson left, the CBS co-anchor of the CBS Evening News.
Yeah.
The Post reported he's gone by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. Well, there are a couple of things too. The legacy media, the broadcast, the evening news business model is changing drastically. the situation, in fact, at CBS and the morning show with Gail and her contract, which has been apparently, according to reports, shrinking. I don't watch any of those morning shows at all.
No, neither do I.
But they get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars, and I've always questioned the business model. Now, at one point, it was huge. You know, the Today Show, Good Morning America, and whatever CBS was doing. And they, you know, so there were people watching, but that's changed. And the evening news, same thing. And so the audience is different. So that's going to change anyway. Now you introduce Barry Weiss being at the top of CBS News, and I am curious to see what it looks like.
You and I were talking about, you know, Amazon and the cuts coming and AI in the media and all that. And I was telling you that with all the technology that we have, you know, today, and that what I'm still drawn to more than ever before, and I think this is one good thing about the arena of ideas today. The arena of ideas has never been bigger.
Oh, it's growing right now. It's huge.
When I think of what I watch is as many podcasts as I can, and these aren't basically people that have been, you know, professionals and came up the ranks, whatever. People that started a podcast and do it. They could be a Hollywood actor. They could be, you see, they really don't have an agenda except they want to give their opinion out, but they bring on different people and they talk. I think that the arena of ideas is bigger than ever before, and that's a problem for the legacy media because the legacy media is viewed as pretending. You know, we talked about the problem today is people can recognize BS. And when you tell me you're a journalist and you're fair and you're not, it's the same thing as when Joe Biden and the Democrats were telling you inflation is good.
Right.
Because it means people are spending more money.
Right.
You can't sell that. It's like saying the border is secure. You can't sell that. And what you're getting is people don't mind. They look and they go, well, this is a podcast done by just a guy or a gal just doing a podcast. Let me take a look at it. Let me listen to it.
Right.
The DIY stuff to me is fascinating on YouTube.
It's engaging.
But I am more attracted, with all the technology we have today, I am more attracted to humans interacting with each other with different ideas than I've ever been before. And I do it all the time. And I'm still attracted to hear it, especially when I know it isn't coming from people that are telling me one thing but doing another.
Right.
Because if they do that as an individual, I'll be gone.
Yeah, sure. Well, and you know, and that's it. I think people look for, it's really authenticity. They want something authentic. And they don't want to feel like they're being BS'd or manipulated. There's a lot of manipulation that goes on. You know, the clickbaits on the thumbnails are legendary. It happens all the time.
Well,
but
you were giving a great example about Steve Bannon. Shut up about Trump running for a third term. It's not going to happen.
Well,
we know you need
like
the clicks.
We're going to unveil it in time. It's like it's not.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
He's doing it for clicks.
Right. And Trump is, when he was answering that question on the gaggle, you know, and the liberal media just caught fire.
Yeah.
He knows he's going to do that by saying what he said. He loves toying with him in that way. But when you got through to the serious question, he pointed out that, you know, J.D. Vance and Marco Rubio would be an unbeatable ticket.
Which was interesting because we had mentioned Rubio.
Yep. So, but it's, you know, it's people look for something authentic. They don't want to be, they don't want to be sold a bill of goods.
866-90 Red Eye.
We'll be right back with more Red Eye Radio with Eric Harley and Gary McNamara.
We are Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. One of the best things I read yesterday on X, from coddled affluent professional. I don't find Mamdani himself to be interesting. He's a vacant narcissist. But I guess one thing that is interesting about Mamdani is his policy platform. It's something that a third grader could come up with. Free buses, pay less rent. I wasn't a fan of Bill de Blasio, but pre-K was a concrete thing, and it's impressive how much stupider and more superficial liberal politics has gotten in the 12 years since de Blasio was elected. It really feels like they put on a show, the mayor's race, the musical, but lack the cognitive capacity to identify and address any true economic concerns or resource issues.
There you have it.
I know.
No, that's
spot on, isn't it?
Spot on.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.